Okay, we'll call the organizational meeting to order at 7 o'clock on November 1st. We have an agenda before us. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No, there's not.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn, or to accept the agenda as Councillor Beyer, Councillor Foley, all those in favor? Carried. The next is the invocation. I would ask Elder Jack Robinson to come forward and present us with a prayer and blessings for this evening's activity. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to come and do the opening prayer. Ano tayo na semantu. Inanas kumuha ko tinagapi mamopiak. Inanas kumuha ki semantu. Iminoak nina iwapat tamakus gisiga. Inanas kumuha ki semantu imini akmina. Pues gisikan siyakan si imini akni pi. Skoteo. Kapag ito mo ni mamanski. Sino nas kumuna. So any may uga kinote uga pe mama wichi wega pilutay. Say si pagkasini mo ay say. And my say matunum sumanalo kumanala kinano ako magana hey. Our Creator, grandfathers who sit in the four directions. We give you thanks, O Creator, for giving us another day. We give you thanks for your wonderful gifts of fire, water, Mother Earth, and the air that we breathe. We give thanks, O Creator, all of us that are here in good health. We ask, O my Creator, that you bless each and every one that is here today. We give thanks for worship of the mayor and the council, and for all the hard work that you're trying for the people of Thompson. Bless them, O Creator, and give them the guidance and the wisdom to carry out the work that they are doing. But let's not forget those that are less fortunate than we are. We ask that you bless the people that are less fortunate than we are, the people that are out on the street, the homeless, people with addictions. All our young people there seem to be lost today, that they find the right path. All our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We ask that you bless each and every one that is out there. We pray for the families of all the missing and murdered Aboriginal women. We pray for these families that one day they will find closure because they're suffering and find out what had happened to their loved ones. As we ask, O Creator, as you bless our young people, that they can learn the teachings of our grandfathers to respect each other, to love each other. We ask, O Creator, that you guide them. We have lost so many of our young people. Bless them, O Creator. Ask our grandfathers, grandmothers, and our all relations. Hey. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we've already done the approval of the agenda, so just before I get into the mayor's opening remarks, I would just like to break from tradition and announce or congratulate our MP, Nikki Ashton, on the birth of her twins. And so congrats to both Nikki and her partner and Grandma and Grandpa, former MLA Steve Ashton. I'm sure they're both proud parents and grandparents of the joyous event that happened, I believe, on Monday. So congratulations again to our MP, Nikki Ashton. Moving into the mayor's opening remarks, a few comments to make. Good evening. I'm again honored to provide greetings and opening remarks at the fourth and final organizational meeting of this council, marking the last year for the 2014-2018 term of office. This meeting is being held at City Hall in the city of Thompson, which is situated on Treaty 5 traditional territory of the Nishuwashiak Cree Nation and the homelands of the Métis peoples. I would like to thank Jack Elder for the opening prayer and have provided him with a present of tobacco as a token of our appreciation. I would also welcome all in attendance, including City Council colleagues, City Manager Gary Sepitelli, and staff from his administrative team, and members of the general public, and the press as well. At this time, I would like to thank the residents of this community for their input over the last year. We've had good participation at our council meetings, as well as a good participation via social media and our webpage. We value your comments and suggestions as we move through the process of providing services to the community at large. Secondly, I would like to recognize and thank City Manager Gary Sepitelli and his administrative team and city staff that make our job as mayor and councillors that much easier by doing all the hard work at the ground level. Last but certainly not least, I would like to thank my fellow council colleagues for their efforts over the past year. Having completed our third year of a 4-year term, we have moved from learning what it takes to be municipal leaders to making decisions that will affect the community in the present and also beyond this council's term of office. There are numerous achievements and challenges in the last year, and at this time I would like to reflect back on a few of them. On the achievement side of things, we have broken ground on the construction of the wastewater treatment plant, moving towards an estimated completion in the spring of 2019. The estimated cost is $36.5 million, with the City of Thompson's share being approximately $12.125 million. We continue the discussions for the transfer of the water treatment plant from LA to the City of Thompson. Staff have been hired to monitor and learn the operation before we take over operations in 2018. Through a strong lobby effort, we were successful in having the province of Manitoba not only not to apply the land transfer tax and the PST to the transfer of ownership of the water treatment plant from Valley to the City of Thompson, saving the taxpayers of Thompson $1.5 million. We as a community stepped up and accepted the request to host the 2018 Manitoba Winter Games, March 4th to the 10th in 2018, of over 1,400 athletes, coaches, and officials who will come to Thompson to compete in the largest provincial sporting event in Manitoba. A seniors housing project, the Lions Manor, valued at $7.7 million, has begun construction, with completion anticipated in late 2018, early 2019. We saw private investment in the Westwood Mall of about $1 million, the local 6166 Steel Center of about $600,000, the Women's Crisis Center of about $500,000, Valley's Concentrate Loadout Facility estimated at $42 million, the Hope North Youth Recovery Center at $7.7 million, Thompson Regional Airport apron and parking improvements, and the dental lab in the plaza, again at approximately $1 million in investment. In 2017, the city was able to complete capital projects such as the road renewal on Selkirk Avenue, multi-use paths, McLean Park canopy, equipment purchases to name a few, valued at an estimated $4.6 million, and once again not having to use property tax revenue to pay for it. On the water utility side of things, we were able to complete the capital projects on Beaver Crescent, Staghorn, and Deerwood, as well as Brandon Crescent and ongoing force main replacements at a value of just under $4 million. Working with developers, our staff continue to position the city with future investments that will see major projects in the summer of 2018. The Thompson 2020 team was put in place in June with the hiring of project team managers Tim Gibson and Harold Smith. Keisha Davis was also hired as our Economic Development Officer and seconded to the team for 18 to 24 months. Keisha will remain as our EDO at the conclusion of the Thompson 2020 project. The mandate of the team is to mitigate the impacts of the job losses from Valley's move to the mine mill operation, retain retirees, and to grow and expand existing and new businesses in Thompson. We continue to work with NCN, First Nation, as an investor in our community and look forward to expanding the opportunities for investment. On the challenge side of things, we've had a few in 2017, and of course the largest challenge facing our community is the reduction of workforce at Valley. In 2017, we saw the Birch Tree mine be placed in care and maintenance as of October 1st, 2017, affecting 200 jobs. In August of 2018, we will see further reduction of 500 jobs with the closing of the refinery and smelter as Valley moves to a mine mill operation. The 2012-2017 grant in lieu funding agreement that we received from Valley comes to an end at the end of 2017. A new agreement is currently being discussed in order to ensure the sustainability and viability of our community for many years to come. Negotiations continue with the province of Manitoba for a new funding agreement to support our Community Safety Officer program. There are many partners working together to minimize the effects of these announcements, but no one should be under the illusion that there will not be residual effects to our community and region. As I stated at last year's inaugural meeting, decisions made by this council in this term will frame the future development and sustainability of our community for many years to come. As I always look forward to the discussion and debate on all the issues, I encourage council to be actively involved as we move through the process. 2018 is an election year across Manitoba for cities, towns, and rural municipalities. October 24th to be specific. After 19 years as an employee of the City of Thompson and entering my 8th year of council, I'm announcing today that I will, for personal reasons, not be seeking re-election in 2018. This decision is not taken lightly, and I will continue to work 100% for the betterment of our community for the upcoming year. I would encourage and challenge residents of all ages of our community to become actively involved in the decision-making process moving forward. It is your thoughts and opinions that will guide us in moving our community forward on the challenges that lay ahead of us. As we look towards 2018, Council has begun the 2018 budget deliberations with an anticipated completion date of late February, early March. As part of the Municipal Act, we have to formally submit our budget to the Province of Manitoba by May 15, 2018. We will add public participation in the process earlier on, as we did last year, and there will be announcements in the near future as to how residents will become involved in the budget process. As a council, we will continue to make decisions based on our strategic plan that was finalized and presented to the general public early in the first quarter of 2016. We will continue to use the Master Parks Plan and the Sustainable Community Plan as guiding documents in our decision-making process. We will continue to use the Aboriginal Accord as our mandate to promote good relations based on honesty and mutual respect for our neighbours and residents. Copies of all our guiding documents are available at the online at thompson.ca and available at the front desk of City Hall. I'm confident that we will continue to work on being the most inclusive, caring, and progressive community that we can be to the benefit of all. In closing, I would like to again encourage residents to become involved in the municipal process of governing. Council provides governance and sets policy, administration supports the governance decisions, and carries out by implementing the policies. Residents, and this is the most important part, feedback, constructive feedback, so that council and staff can affirm or adjust the direction that we are guiding the community forward. If we all work together, we will be for the benefit of everyone in the community and the surrounding region. Thank you again for this great opportunity to provide leadership in the municipal government. I look forward to the upcoming year. With that, we'll move on to the appointment of the Deputy Mayor by myself. First off, I want to thank Deputy Mayor Kathy Valentino for the work that she's had for the last 2 years. She's carried herself extremely well, very professional. She's carried the mantle of the City of Thompson in all conditions, and I want to express my extreme gratitude to Kathy for her professionalism and her commitment to the City of Thompson, the community of Thompson, both in her Deputy Mayor role, but also as a volunteer in our community. She's very involved in the Norman North Star program and other activities, and I just want to commend her on her work for the last year, so thank you again, Deputy Mayor Valentino. With that, I would like to announce the appointment of Councillor Colleen Smook as the new Deputy Mayor for 2018. Colleen has stepped up and carried the torch for us in the Omnitrax file and the One North file as we go through the Omnitrax issues with the Port of Churchill and the rail. She's been very active on that file, and I want to express my gratitude for that. She has stepped up in my place in the absence of Deputy Mayor Valentino to carry the mantle of the City of Thompson, and I appreciate that as well. So with that, I would like to announce the appointment of Colleen Smook as our new Deputy Mayor for the year of 2018. To Deputy Mayor Valentino first. I know that she's just had a root canal, so I don't expect a long speech, but if there's any comments.
First off, thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor Fenske, for giving me the opportunity for the last 2 years and for Colleen being the backup this past year. And I'd like to thank administration and your staff. I'm never afraid to say I don't know and need help, and I certainly did in some situations this past year, especially during the winter storm. So thank you very much. You should never assume or judge somebody who can sit in that chair, the mayor's chair, because it's definitely a learning curve, and I thank you so much for what I've learned. And I feel energy and energetic to go through this last year with all of you here in the room as we finish off our term. And I really look forward to it, and I look forward to Deputy Mayor Smook and yourself to call upon me if at any time. I'm more than happy to do what I can.
Seems funny, the name. I would like to thank Kathy for the last 2 years of Deputy Mayor. Very big shoes to fill following her. And thank you to Mayor Fenske for nominating me. I will be here to listen to the community's concerns and do whatever I can, so please feel free to come and talk to me at any given time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will move on to the appointment of committee chairs, and I will qualify that my appointments are reflective of the interest shown by councillors. I do a survey every year, as I have since day one, and my appointments are reflective of that interest. So for the Finance and Administration Committee, I would put forth the name of Councillor Kathy Valentino. Kathy, do you accept? Yes, I do. Thank you. Next, I would go to Human Resources Committee, and I would put forward the name of Councillor Blake Ellis. Do you accept? Thank you. Next, I would go to Public Works and Infrastructure Committee, and I would go to Deputy Mayor Colleen Smook. Do you accept? Yes, I do. Thank you. Next, we go to Public Safety Committee, and I would put forth the name of Councillor Judy Collada. Do you accept? Yes, I do. Thank you. Next, I'll go to Recreation and Community Services Committee, and I will put forth the name of Councillor Dennis Foley. Do you accept? I do. Thank you. By virtue of our organizational bylaw, the Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs is automatically chaired by the Deputy Mayor, so that will be Colleen Smook. Development Review, I would go to Councillor Penny Byer. Do you accept? And for Communications, I would go to Councillor Blake Ellis. Do you accept? Thank you. The next portion is the council elects the committee members in each of the remaining committees. For all of except the Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs, it's one additional councillor to each committee. In the Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs, it's two councillors. So at this point, I would open the floor for nominations for the Finance and Administration Committee. Nominations from the floor. Councillor Byer.
I'd like to nominate Deputy Mayor Colleen Smook.
Colleen, do you accept the nomination? Any other nominations? Councillor
I'd like to nominate Duncan Wong.
Thank you. Councillor Wong, do you accept the, okay. Councillor Collada.
Councillor Matichuk beat me to nominating Councillor Wong.
We have two councillors nominated for the Finance and Admin. That means we're going to have an election. I'd ask Tammy and Gary to go forward with that. So we have two names, Deputy Mayor Smook and Councillor Duncan Wong. One name to be put on the ballot. So Deputy Mayor Smook is named to the Finance Committee. Next, we have Human Resources Committee. I would look for nominations from the floor. Councillor Valentino.
I'd like to nominate Deputy Mayor Smook.
Deputy Mayor Smook, do you accept?
I'd like to nominate Oh, Blake's already on it? Yeah, okay, for a second, yeah. I'm so confused after that deputy mayor thing. I apologize. Sure, I'll accept.
Nominations? Second? Third? Deputy Mayor Smook is the second on Human Resources. Next, we go to Public Works and Infrastructure Committee. We go for nominations from the floor. Councillor Collada,
I'd like to nominate Councillor Matichuk.
accept? Any other nominations? Councillor Valentino.
Nominate Councillor Byer.
Thank you. Again, we have any other nominations? Councillor Collada.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Wong.
Wong, do you accept? Okay, so we have any other nominations? We have 3 nominations for one position. So again, same process. One name on the ballot, and we'll have Tammy and Gary collect them.
Councillor Byer.
Councillor Byer has been selected. Thank you. Next, we have Public Safety Committee, nominations from the floor. Public Safety, nominations from the floor. Councillor Deputy Mayor Smook.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Foley.
I do.
Other nominations? Councillor Collada.
Try again, Councillor Wong.
Other nominations? Seeing none, we have 2 names, Councillor Foley, Councillor Wong. Again, for one position, one name on the ballot.
Councillor Foley.
Thank you. Next, we have Recreation and Community Services Committee, nominations from the floor. Councillor Foley.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Valentino.
Tina, do you accept? Thank you. Other nominations? Second time? Third and final? Thank you. Councillor Valentino on Recreation and Community Services. Next, we have Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs. There are 2 councillors to be named to this committee. I'll look for nominations from the floor. Deputy Mayor Smook.
I would like to nominate Kathy Perliga.
Yes, I do.
Other nominations from the floor? Councillor Wong.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Collada.
Councillor Collada, do you accept? Any other nominations from the floor? Councillor Collada.
Councillor Wong.
Councillor Wong, do you accept? Okay. Councillor Foley,
I'd like to nominate Blake Ellis.
do you accept? Okay. Any other nominations? Seeing none, we have 3 names for 2 positions, Councillor Valentino, Councillor Collada, and Councillor Ellis. So on the card, 2 names, Councillor Valentino, Councillor Collada, Councillor Ellis. Reminder, 2 names. There's of 3, Councillor Valentino, Councillor Collada, Councillor Ellis.
Councillor Valentino, Councillor Ellis.
Thank you. Development Review Committee. Councillor Valentino and Councillor Ellis have been named to Legislative and Intergovernmental Affairs. Development Review Committee, nominations from the floor. Councillor Wong. Councillor Matichak, do you accept? Okay. Nominations from the floor. Councillor Smook.
Councillor Valentino.
Councillor Valentino, do you accept? Other nominations from the floor? Second time? Councillor Byer first.
Nominate Councillor Judy Collada.
Okay. Councillor Wong, you have a nomination? Okay. So we have any other nominations? We have 2 names, Councillor Valentino, Councillor Collada for developmental review. 1 name to be put on a ballot. Councillor Cloud is elected. Next, we have Communications Committee, nominations from the floor. Councillor Wong. Do you accept the nomination? Any other nominations from the floor? Second time? Councillor Ellis, do you accept? Or he's the chair? Yep. Yep, okay, so we're back to, any other nomination from the floor? Councillor Foley, do you accept? I do. Okay. Any other nominations from the floor? Second time? Third and final? Okay, we've got two names, Councillor Foley, Councillor Byer for one position.
Councillor Foley.
Okay, Councillor Foley has been elected. That completes the council committee member designation. Need a motion to destroy the ballots. Motion to destroy the ballots. Councillor Ellis. Councillor Foley, all those in favor? Carried, thank you. Now we're moving into resolutions. The first resolution, 8.1, a resolution to appoint members to the Board of Revision. Resolution 2017-234, moved by Councillor Valentino, second by Councillor Matichak. Be it resolved that the following members of council are hereby appointed to the Board of Revision of the City of Thompson 2017. Deputy Mayor Smook, Councillor Foley, Councillor Collada. And be it further resolved that Councillor Dennis Foley is hereby appointed as the chairperson of the board. And be it further resolved that Carol Taylor, Project Specialist, Finance, be hereby appointed as the secretary to the board. Call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Next, we have a resolution to appoint signing authorities, and this is the resolution 2017-235, moved by Councillor Foley, seconded by Councillor Byer. Whereas by virtue of the bylaw 1931-2015 as amended, being the City of Thompson organizational and procedural bylaw, the mayor, the deputy mayor, and members of the Finance and Administration Committee are authorized to sign or authorized agreements, checks, and other negotiable instruments of the City of Thompson. And whereas the bylaw further provides that the said agreements, checks, and other instruments shall also be signed by the Chief Administrative Officer or the designated officer appointed by resolution at the annual organizational meeting of Council. Now therefore be resolved that the following persons be appointed as signing officers from November 1st, 2017 until further notice for the bank accounts and for any and all other negotiable documents of the City of Thompson. Any two of the following: Jenny Krentz, Chief Financial Officer; Gail Taylor, Assistant Financial Officer; Gary Sepatelli, City Manager; Carol Taylor, Project Specialist Finance; Dennis Fensky, Mayor; Deputy Mayor Colleen Smook; and Kathy Valentino, Member of the Finance and Administration Committee. The other member of the Finance Committee member is Deputy Mayor Colleen Smook, so we're already covered in that resolution. With that, I would call for the motion to call for the vote. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Next, we have a resolution to ratify all appointments. Resolution 2017-236, moved by Councillor Foley, second by Councillor Byer. Be resolved, the council hereby ratifies all of the committee appointments made at the organizational meeting of council held on Wednesday, November 1st, 2017. Call for the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Next, we go to motion to adjourn. I'd like a motion to adjourn. Councillor Byer, Councillor Matichuk, all those in favor? Carried. Thank you. We stand adjourned.